For years, my family ignored my success and planned to use my money for my golden sister. So I gave my overlooked brother a free house at his graduation. My dad screamed that money was for her loans. My name is Alina, and I grew up in a family where success only mattered if it belonged to my younger sister, Lily. She was the golden child, beautiful, charming, always praised, even when she did absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, I worked my way through college, earned scholarships, and eventually became the only person in my family with a stable, well paying job. But no matter what I achieved, my parents acted like it didn't matter. Every family gathering somehow turned into a celebration of Lily's tiny accomplishments, while mine were brushed aside like they were accidents. When I bought my first car, no need to brag, my mom said. When I got promoted at work, that's nice, but Lily had an important interview today, my dad insisted. When I bought my first small apartment, good, my mom said, because Lily will need financial help soon. It took me years to understand what was going on. My parents didn't just ignore my success, they were counting on it. They assumed I would pay for Lily's student loans, help her get a car, maybe even support her living expenses when she followed her passion instead of finding a job. But the real breaking point came the day I discovered my parents were secretly drafting a plan for me to co-sign a loan for Lily, something she had already applied for without even asking me. When I confronted them, my father didn't deny anything. He said, "Alina, you earn more than her. This is your responsibility as her big sister." I said only one sentence: "I am not your bank." That night, for the first time in my life, I blocked my parents' numbers. I needed distance. I needed clarity. Ironically, the only person who understood me was my little brother, Ben. He wasn't the golden child. He wasn't spoiled. He wasn't demanding. He was the quiet middle kid who worked hard but never got attention because Lily took all the spotlight. While my parents obsessed over Lily's future, Ben struggled with college expenses, juggling two part-time jobs just to keep up. Whenever I visited him, he always tried to hide his stress behind a smile, but I saw everything. And that's when I made my decision, a decision that would change my family forever. Ben was weeks away from graduating. He had no idea what he'd do next. Our parents didn't care. They were too busy planning Lily's next big expense. So I started working silently, saving aggressively, cutting down unnecessary costs, and searching for something meaningful. And then I found the perfect thing, a small but beautiful house that needed minor renovation, affordable, peaceful neighborhood, perfect for Ben. I bought it outright. No loan, no mortgage, no help from anyone. On Ben's graduation day, instead of buying him a watch or a gift card, I handed him an envelope with the house deed inside. At first, he didn't understand. He looked confused and said, "Alina, what is this?" I smiled and said, "It's your new home. You earned it." Ben froze. Tears started falling. He hugged me tighter than anyone had hugged me in years. He kept repeating, "Why would you do this for me?" I said, "Because you deserved support long before anyone realized it." But of course, not everyone was happy. When my parents found out, my father exploded. He stormed into my apartment yelling like he owned the place. His first sentence wasn't congratulations, it wasn't happiness, it wasn't pride. He screamed that money was for her loans. I didn't even blink. I calmly said, "No, that money was mine, and I used it on someone who actually deserved it." My mother joined in, accusing me of betrayal, saying I was tearing the family apart. Then my father shouted the most disgusting line I've ever heard: "You've ruined Lily's future." I looked straight into his eyes and said, "Then maybe she should build her own future the way I did, without stealing from anyone." They left my apartment furious, slamming the door behind them. Lily tried guilt-tripping me later, sending messages about how I destroyed her plans, but I didn't respond. I had finally learned my value. From that day forward, my relationship with my parents changed forever. They no longer saw me as their personal financial support system. They avoided me for months, expecting I'd feel guilty and come crawling back. But I didn't. Ben, on the other hand, called me every week. He fixed up the house, painted the walls, built a garden, and slowly turned it into a beautiful home. Every time I visited, he hugged me with genuine gratitude, something I had never felt from my parents. One day, Ben told me something I will never forget. "You didn't just give me a house, you gave me a chance at a future.
no one has ever done that for me. And that's when I realized family is not defined by blood. Family is defined by loyalty, respect, and love. And sometimes the people you save are the ones who were quietly saving you all along.